So maybe you've been creeping around our website or following us on social media, and maybe there's some mild interest, but not enough to reach out and schedule a call. We get it. You're busy, especially if you're a small business owner. And that's why we put together just a quick demo to walk you through some of the things that our system can do so that you can take a look on your own time. And then if there's any interest, feel free to reach out and schedule a deeper one-on-one demo. My name's Christina Haganey. I'm the president of Valor Payroll Solutions, and we focus on helping small business owners with their payroll. So again, take a couple minutes, check out the video, and if there's any interest, feel free to drop your comments below or find us online at valorpayrollsolutions.com. So this is our timekeeping system. We are logged into the web version here, and you can see on the dashboard, employees have that time clock right when they log in. There's also a mobile app that they can download on their phone, which will have the same functionality, allowing them to easily clock in or clock out from their phone. We can also set up things like geofencing, where we're tracking where employees are clocking in and out of, which will flag punches if they are outside of the geofence. Right here on the dashboard, employees have access to their pay stubs, and W-2s will be there as well if they're processed in our system. Makes it very easy for employees to kind of navigate and do things on their own within the portal. And then for the time, employees will have access to their full time card. And depending on what the client wants to happen in the system, we can have it set up so that employees can approve their own time, or we can have that taken away. It just depends on how the client wants this to look. And then employees will have access to make time off requests if they do have time off accruals. And so they can just come in here and make that request. And then it will go over to the company admin for approval. Logging in now as a company admin, this is where they can come in and manage those time off requests, going to the same menu, time off. But now, since this is an admin, we can see here that time off request, and they can approve or deny it right from this screen. And once that's approved, it will go onto the time card and transfer over into the payroll system. In the portal, if a client wants to add a new hire, they can do that here as well. Going to the new hire section, and they would just enter the employee's information. If a client has multiple states, we can of course get that set up as well. A little new hire message. And then the client will have some options. So of course, they're going to do the I-9 and W-4. It will pre-populate the state withholding form depending on what state they selected on that first screen. And then we have some options here. So if they are an ALE, we can do the ACA notices as needed. And then the client is able to add custom documents if they'd like. Here they have a ethics and code of conduct training course inherent in the system. If they want employees to do that, they can just check the box and it will have the employee complete that as part of their onboarding. And then there's some pre-built questions in here that the client can just select if they'd like the employee to make those kinds of acknowledgments. And then custom questions can be added as well. Once that's done, they just review the information and check the checkbox. And once they hit that complete button, it's going to send all of that new hire paperwork over to the employee to complete. From the employee's perspective, for new hires, they will get an email like this with a link for them to set up a password and start completing their information. And they'll just go through and start entering their info. And then they'll go ahead and enter their signature, consent, and then they'll go through, of course, the new hire process. So they'll complete their W-4 information, and it will walk them through. This is the W-4 fields, of course. Then they'll have that New York form. And then it'll ask them for their bank information. And then these are those prompts that we selected when we were sending out the new new hire information. So it's just asking them to certify or acknowledge what we've asked them to do. And then that will look differently, of course, depending on what the client selects when they send out the information. And then it gives the employee a chance to review their information if they'd like. They can open up any of these PDFs and see what they have submitted, and it transfers that information over to the actual forms. And then once they give their go ahead and say complete, now this is going to route back around for the admin to review and approve that new hire. Toggling back over is the company admin. Now, when the admin comes in here, they can see that they have a notification up here, and they can go in and review that new hire. And so they will need to get the employee's documents to complete the I-9 and input that information here. And then they can input an employee number if they want to assign them. If not, it will be auto assigned. They can assign the employee to a department, choose their pay frequency, input their hourly pay rate or salary information, and then go ahead and authorize them to be added to payroll. Once the client does that, the employee is automatically routed over to both systems. So the employee is now live in the timekeeping system and also has been added on the payroll side. For payroll processing, the client's just going to come to the payroll review section. And this is just going to walk them through everything that they need to look at when processing payroll. So it will walk them through pending time off requests. So if there are any requests that they haven't taken care of yet that are in the pay period, this will notify them here and they can manage those requests directly from this screen. Missing punches, it's going to show if there are any missing punches, which we have one in here. So right from this screen, we can come over, see where that missing punch is, and then go ahead and get it edited. And then you'll have a general time card review. Well, it will show the totals for the pay period. If the client wants to dig in here and see, oh, what was this edit for? They can click on the employee's name and go into their time card, just like we did for that missing punch. But this is just a recap of what's happening in the payroll. And then they can come here and finalize the pay period. And then they'll go over and integrate the hours with the payroll system. All they need to do here is come in and sync, select their pay group, and click upload, and that's going to transfer the hours over to the payroll system. Within the portal, the client will also have access to a file cabinet where all of the employees' new hire documents are saved if they've onboarded through the system. But they can also come in here and upload additional documents if they'd like. But it's just a nice way to kind of keep everything in one place. So if they already have employees on staff, we can upload documents here if they want to use this as their file keeping system.